This is Paul Thomas, Senior Editor of Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Magazine, and I'm here today speaking with Dick Gephardt, somebody who needs no introduction, but Dick, thanks so much for being with us today.
Good to be here.
And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about manufacturing today. You're here at the Best and Brightest Forum on Medical Innovation, and one of the ways that we can innovate is in manufacturing. Where do you see the opportunities being for manufacturers, particularly in the U.S., but worldwide really, to innovate?
Well, if you come up with new ideas, if you come up with new products that will change people's lives, you have to make those products somewhere. And my belief is that manufacturing is the critical part of the process that's often forgotten because it's kind of at the end of the process. But it's a very important economic activity. I'm fond of saying manufacturing matters. Every economy needs some manufacturing in it. It's been a bigger and bigger challenge here in the United States because of the standard of living, the cost of wages, compensation for workers. But if they can work more effectively, if they can be more educated, if they can be more productive, then we can compete with lower wage, lower standard of living countries for those jobs. It also, I think, it helps to have the manufacturing function near where the product has been invented or innovated, so the scientific community that did the work can still be in touch with the manufacturing process, because at the end of the day, you've got to get the product to the bedside so it really works.
That brings up an interesting point, because as you probably know, a lot of companies have kind of moved towards becoming virtual companies, where they're really managing things, but they're not really doing a lot of the actual research, development, and manufacturing. Do you see that maybe the pendulum is swinging in the other direction in that regards?
I do. I think the innovation process is so complicated and difficult and expensive today that companies really see the need to bring it back into their own jurisdiction, take better control of how it's done and what is done, so they can try to be more successful in the outcomes that they're seeking. So I think you're going to see more companies taking charge of both the innovation level and the manufacturing level, so that they're integrated correctly to get the right products out and to have them be effectively used in the marketplace.
And, obviously the biotech industry here in the U.S. has been a leading innovator and is where, a lot of the growth in the country is happening. But I would imagine even with biotech, you probably see areas of opportunity for continued innovation, continued growth in the life sciences.
Absolutely. Biotech is going to be critically important. I think you're seeing the consolidation of some biotech companies into pharma companies. That have been traditionally focused on chemical compounds, so they're looking at biologics as well now. You're also seeing the need for capital in the biotech companies. It's been really hard to come by lately. A lot of companies have failed because they didn't have the capital to keep going and doing the things they need to do. So there may be some more consolidation, but all toward the goal of, again, coming up with more successful remedies and solving problems in the healthcare community.
What do you tell manufacturing workers? A lot of people are trying to wrap their head around the climate these days, in terms of there's so much globalization going on, there's so much shifting going on in the industry. How do I prepare myself for the future? Where do I fit in as a manufacturing worker?
We need to have much better education at all levels so that our workers are highly prepared to do the kind of difficult tasks that are often required in a manufacturing process, especially in life sciences. They also, I think, need to work more in concert with their employers to be highly productive. One of the things I advocate to workers today in manufacturing and services is something I call open book management, and that is to ask the employers to open the books to the workers on a regular, consistent basis, So they know exactly what the metrics of the company are and how what they do fits into those metrics. And if you combine that education, that consistent, constant education on the numbers to every worker, and then combine that with incentives, if they do produce at a high level, then you really get high productivity, highly successful workers.
So if the jobs are there and the wages are there, then you'll get people that are
exactly
gravitating towards those.
So it takes education at the younger stages of life so that they're prepared to do these jobs. Then it takes consistent, constant education and communication about the financial metrics of the company, and then cutting them into part of the take if they really do produce at a high level. So that, to me, is the future for manufacturing in high standard of living countries like the United States.
And probably one of the things that you're talking with some of the the leaders here at this forum about is things that they can do to provide more of the take for their workers, or to include workers more in the decision making and in the returns on the investments that they're making.
Right. I think we've done well over the years with cutting workers into profit sharing or gain sharing. Employment stock ownership plans have been used in some places. That has largely been in place. What's been missing is the constant communication about the metrics of the enterprise, so that workers know every minute of the day how they can contribute to a better bottom line for the company and therefore for themselves. So it's kind of, we've done the economic incentives, we haven't done well enough at the education information part.
Interesting. So you're really pushing transparency on the part of the companies.
They've got to, people have to know what is happening with the company competitively with all of their competitors, so that they can then become, and how what they're doing every day contributes to that bottom line.
Great. It's a good message to leave with then.
You bet.
Dick Gephardt, thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.